hope you are all doing well. One day, if we do our fasting glucose level test, we found that our glucose level or sugar level, blood sugar level is above the normal range. On the other day, if we do our cholesterol level test, so it goes above the normal range. So one day, it means one day at a time, these are the levels goes up and comes down later, right? So there, what I mean is, does it mean that it determines that you are pre-diabetic or you are diabetic and therefore you have to take medicines? Do you believe on that? If it is so, you are completely misleading all the way, because sometimes our blood sugar level might go up, might go down below the normal range. Sometimes similarly on the other side, our cholesterol level and other uric acid, our blood pressure, these are also fluctuates. It's pretty common. So what we do in these days, just once we have done test and we found it's above the normal range or below the normal range, we started taking medicines and determine ourselves that we are pre-diabetic, diabetic, or our cholesterol level is sustaining with that higher range. So, and also our blood pressure is really high, we need to take care of that with medicines and curb down on immediate basis. And this is how we started taking medicines and therefore getting subsequent side effects of the medicines and taking further medicines to tackle another health issues of yours. So does it mean that we should do that? Instead, what we should do, once you have done any test, all of a sudden regular checkup, or at a time 3 months, 6 months later, complete blood profile or your health checkup is required. In this present scenario, to keep yourself on track, to check yourself whether you are falling short, to maintain any sort of those required level, correct? So that is required. So once you have done any test and it goes above or below the normal range, so you have to understand, you have to do that test after 1 or 2 weeks later, and then if you found the same results or it goes above the reference range or below the reference range, so then you can consider yourself, you should go to a doctor regarding this, and therefore they can prescribe you any sort of medicines to recover from that particular issue. So this is how we should take these things into our concern, not that all of sudden we have done any test and it goes above the reference range and we started taking medicines. Okay, now if you even found yourself repeatedly that sort of blood sugar level or cholesterol level still it's sustaining on that particular level, it's more than the reference range, and it's going on even after 2 weeks once you have done your test again to check it out whether it's sustaining on that particular range or not. So then even should you start taking medicines, or you should change your diet and lifestyle pattern? Because see, these are all happening due to your diet and lifestyle disturbances most of the time, and also some of those exceptional cases which I need to talk about, where all of a sudden you see your blood sugar level or cholesterol, whatever the thing is, it goes far above than the reference range or far below than the reference range, So then you should consider on an instant to reach out to any medical help, to reach out to any doctor or any nutritionist for that moment, aside doctor as well. But if it is not far, so then you should consider, before going to doctor, you should consider to check your diet pattern and your lifestyle pattern, because these are things coming from there. So this is the thing that you have to understand. Okay, and it's pretty sure, if your age is not much, you are not an older person and it's below 50, you can easily restore those imbalances just by correcting your diet and lifestyle. So don't think yourself that you are pre-diabetic, diabetic, high level of cholesterol is there, and you are worried about it regarding your heart and all that. High pressure is there, all of a sudden you found, and you are finding yourself you are a high pressure patient. So it's not that. Okay, so don't get worried about it, and if it is really so, do another test after 1 or 2 weeks. If it is really sustaining there at the out of the reference range, so definitely first go to any nutritionist to change your diet, or health coach to change your diet and lifestyle pattern. Then further, if it's required, then you can go to doctor to add on some medicines aside the changes that you have made on your diet and lifestyle patterns. Okay, to carve down the issue first, to some extent, for couple of days or couple of weeks, to get the support of the medicines alongside as well. Okay, now the things comes on one. Someone asked me that is it really good to take stevia drops as a pre-diabetic patient? So first of all, I would like to tell on this that what about that sugar-free sweeteners? There are two types of sweeteners. Sugar-free sweeteners, it means there is no carbohydrate as well. So now the thing is, sugar-free sweeteners, there are two types of sugar-free sweeteners. Number one is natural sugar-free sweeteners, and another one is artificial sugar-free sweeteners. Clear? Now, what are the artificial sugar-free sweeteners and what are the natural sugar-free sweeteners, and what about its respective pros and cons we should keep in mind while using those things, so then we can utilize those sugar-free sweeteners effectively in our day-to-day life. Correct? So let's talk about artificial sugar-free sweeteners. Those are basically, usually we get saccharin, sucralose, aspartame. Okay, these are all actually chemical sweeteners. It tastes like sugar, it doesn't have carbs at all, so it's okay. But as per the studies, say several studies had been done on those things, but it's not a very concrete data. Still more studies yet to be done, kind of. So but still, what about the overall perceptions are coming out from there, if I tell you? So these are the artificial sugar-free sweeteners. If you take continuous basis for a longer period of time, it might cause any carcinogenic, cancerous effect or heart related issues. Okay, even also another study, some of the studies says that it alters gut bacteria. You might have some indigestions problem. Also due to its taste, our brain cannot recognize the same way if we take sugar. So there are multiple of things are there. So apparently, what is altogether, let's long story cut short, that altogether, if I tell you that if you are taking artificial sweeteners, so then keep it in limitation first of all, and take short period of time, like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, kind of, not much. first of all, and on an instant try to replace with the natural sugar free sweeteners. Okay, because natural sugar free sweeteners doesn't have this kind of potential threats, health related issues in future if you take it on constant basis, on regular basis, as per the study is concerned, even as per the sources is concerned. Okay, so the thing is, now let's talk about sugar free natural sweeteners. Okay, so there are mainly two types of sugar free natural sweeteners that we do use. These are two is stevia and monk fruits. Now if I talk about monk fruits, some of the study says might have some potential threats, very less. Still it's not a concrete data, and overall based on these artificial sweeteners and natural sweeteners, there is no concrete data as well. I mean, still the study is going on, and based on those limited study, most of them done on rats, so not in human being. So based on this limited study, who also prescribed this kind of advisories, or I mean, who also released this kind of advisories that it might have any carcinogenic effects and heart related issues in future if you take it for longer period of time for artificial sweeteners. Okay, as well as for natural sweeteners, if I tell you, some of the other data says it's okay, it's completely fine, and there is no issue at all. But some of them also says that monk fruits have some potential threats, but pretty less. It's not like very bigger one something. Okay, so therefore if I was talking about natural sweeteners, so in monk fruits definitely you can take. Similarly, in less amount of, better to take always stevia from natural sweeteners point of view. Stevia has shown great substitutes in against of or in replacement of our daily sugar, and several studies even said that there is no toxicity had been found on stevia. So it's always better, even from my personal experience, if I add on into this, I prescribe always to go with stevia, then with artificial sweeteners. Very limited time, if there is no accessibility of stevia, you can't find it. So this is how. Now the thing is, stevia drops, does it really causes any harmful effects? Simply no, not at all. Stevia drops like acts similarly in any form of stevia that you are taking. It means whereas I'm talking about stevia in any form of, whether it's drops, whether it's powder, you can take it easily. It will act on you similarly in any form. But yes, choose any product which is authentic and having those sort of certifications, and we can rely upon that product. It doesn't have such fillers and all of those things. So therefore I can suggest you, in terms of the stevia drops, if you are considering, go with mango herb stevia drops. I can show you the picture right there, and also can share you the link in description below. You can go through that. And remember, we don't have any associations with them. We are not promoting their products, but I do suggest their products to my client as well, because they are very much authentic and they sell authentic products. Even personally I do use. So although I don't use their stevia one, it's not required for me, so I don't do it, but other products is really authentic and you can rely upon that. Now the thing is, should you take artificial sweeteners, stop taking sugars right from the beginning, to take as a preventive measure, so not to be a diabetic patient in future, something like, I would say never do that. Why you take sugar free sweeteners? It doesn't have any requirement unless you are really have that need. Because see, our body is structured in some way. We have to just figure out the things which is reliable, which is unprocessed, which is as well as natural form, and we should also maintain alongside our lifestyle, so then we can digest the food properly, take food on time, combination of food should be correct, so then all together you can utilize those nutrients in balance, and even it doesn't cause any harmful effects inside your body. That's something the things. Now here's the thing, that people see that sugar means basically refined sugars. All everywhere we can find this one. Therefore people think like, yeah, sugar is very bad. No, not at all. Even alongside also, I do believe some of those patients, those are even having those liver issue, I also don't prescribe them to go with the refined sugar one. Otherwise you can go in limitations, no issue at all. In limitations you can go, but better to avoid and go with the whole fruits or something like, as well as possible. And there also you can get that carbohydrate as well, and it will utilize by the body of its own. So this is how the overall scenario is. So don't get scared beforehand and start taking artificial sweeteners or natural sweeteners unnecessarily. Just be with a mindful lifestyle as well as a mindful diet pattern, so then definitely it will help you out, and nothing above this. Hope this whole thing is very clear to you, how you should react, how you should choose the sugar or sugar free sweeteners, as well as when you should choose and how you should take it into your concern. So that's all. I think it's clear right now to you. Thank you very much. Take care, all of you.